I'm K. Sharma. I welcome everyone on this channel that is csrias Academy. Uh, First of all, from my end, very good morning. I don't know about you, so take that morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is there for you. Uh, Today we'll be covering 8 topics, and before proceeding further, let's talk a bit about this personal mentorship. Okay, so anyone who is having any doubts in respect to this UPSC guidance, okay, you can definitely call this number, okay, which is here. This is Chandrasekhar sir, okay. He is the founder of this channel, okay, and you can call him, you can ask him whatever your queries, anything. कोई भी queries आपकी हो regarding UPSC, you can have a word. किसी भी सब्जेक्ट में आपको दिक्कत हो रही हो, यू कैन डेफिनेटली हैव अ वर्ड एंड देयर आपको सारी गाइडेंस मिलेगी, बीट पीटी मेंस इंटरव्यू वट एवर इट इज़ देयर, ठीक है, फॉर यूपीएससी सीएससी एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टडी द टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट. क्या क्या है आज? ओके, वन सेकेंड. So first topic is Supreme Court verdict on Article 370. Can Bihar increase its reservation pool? Supreme Court scrutiny on emergency declaration. Climate change adaptation by 2030. Rise in human trafficking. Victim forced into cybercrimes. VP call for debate on freebies. FAO report on food security and nutrition. And the last, the goldfish invasion. Threats in open water. So let's start with the first topic, and the first topic says Supreme Court's verdict on Article 370. Okay, सबसे पहले understand what is Article 370. Article excuse me. So Article 370 was nothing but it gave the special power to Jammu and Kashmir state for having certain rights just specific to the communities of Jammu and Kashmir. So why it was news? Because the Supreme Court on Monday unanimously upheld the power of the president to abrogate special status of JNK under Article 370 of the Constitution. That means कि in 2019 on 5th of August, the government through president revoked this Article 370 and said कि no, now the Jammu and Kashmir will be considered as two UTs, that is Ladakh and Jammu, okay, JNK and Ladakh, they became the UTs of India, okay. And they said the special rights which were there, now it is no more. Like उनको marriage का special provision था that they cannot marry outside the communities of JNK, and if they get married they lose the status of having the land. ऐसे ऐसे करके बहुत सारा status था. तो now it was abrogated on 5th of August 2019. उस चीज़ को लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में बहुत सारी केसेस फाइल हुई. केसेस में ये निकल के आया एट द एंड, एंड फ्यू डेज बैक द जजमेंट केम एंड द जजमेंट क्लियरली स्टेटेड कि नहीं, जो सरकार के द्वारा किया गया है दैट इज़ कम्प्लीटली राइट, वो बिल्कुल लीगल है. जिस तरीके से प्रेसिडेंट ने 35A को लेकर इमरजेंसी प्रोक्लेम करके रूल्स को लगाया, दैट इज़ कम्प्लीटली फाइन. Upholding presidential power, okay. Division of Jammu and Kashmir into two UTs and removal of privileges under Article 370. क्या है? Unanimous agreement on the president's authority to nullify Article 370 via notification, and this notification was given under 35A, okay. Let's rationale and presidential authority. Unilateral president action. Court's affirmation of the president's capability to issue a notification abolishing Article 370 based on special circumstances. Limitation of court role. court clarified its inability to contest the president's decision regarding the existence of these circumstances. Okay, historical. So, acknowledgement of a 70-year-old gradual collaboration between the center and JNK towards constitutional integration. Court decided the idea of Article 370 acquiring permanent status post, dissolution of the Constituent Assembly in 1957. कोर्ट क्लियरली स्टेटेड कि वो एक टेम्परेरी प्रोविज़न था और टेम्परेरी प्रोविज़न को हम लोग इस तरीके से मान्य नहीं कर सकते हैं. Significance and conclusion. Court stands on the non-binding nature of the Constituent Assemblies, recommended Article 370 revocation and recognition of the President's authority in nullifying Article 370, constituting a valid exercise of power. Okay. Key aspects of the judgment. So, concurrent judgment. Three concurrent judgments delivered by CJI D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice B.R. Gavai and Suryakant, and a concurring opinion by Justice S.K. Kaul, Justice Sanjeev Khanna concurred with both. Verdict addressed. Validity of presidential order. Imposition and extension of presidential rule in December 2018. Constitutionality of J&K Reorganization Act dividing the state into two UTs. Okay. Validity of presidential rule. Court didn't rule on its validity as not challenged by petitioner. Emphasized limits on union's power during this period, rejecting arguments challenging irreversible action. J&K's sovereignty clarification. Affirmed J&K lacked internal sovereignty post-accession to India. Highlight absence of sovereignty, reference in J&K confirming its integration with. Yeah, you can read it, and more or less it is talking about the same thing. Recently there is also a JK amendment bill. उनमें मैं लास्ट लेक्चर में शायद उसको ले रहा था. उसमें इन्होंने बताया कि किस तरीके से now they are considering more number of seats. Even the delimitation commission has increased the number of seats. Post above that we have this क्या कहते हैं. सो फाइनली एक कोर्ट का ऑर्डर क्या है. डायरेक्टेड इलेक्शन कमीशन फॉर JNK असेंबली इलेक्शन बाय September 30, 2024. Called for earliest restoration of statehood. Justice S.K. Kaul suggested a Truth and Reconciliation Committee for addressing human rights violation. Okay, that is the exact judgments कि क्या judgment रहा है. Let's talk further. क्या है भाई. कैन बिहार इंक्रीज इट्स रिजर्वेशन पूल. तो रिसेंटली बिहार ने एक कास्ट सेंसस कराया था. कास्ट सेंसस में उन्होंने क्या किया, दैट दे फाइंड मेनी ऑफ द बैकवर्ड कास्ट दे आर नॉट हैविंग द adequate representation. However, in my opinion, this is just a political vendetta, and they just want, let's not go political, but मे बी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली भी इलीगल है. और ऐसे भी जस्ट इट्स जस्ट द वोटिंग टेक्निक्स which they do on an this basis, annual basis, this cheap political tool they use to gumrah the general public. So let's talk क्या करते हैं ये लोग. 75% of reservation will break the glass ceiling. Okay. Bihar recent legislation. Governor approved laws raise reservation to 75% in Bihar for jobs and education. So what is the now breakdown? So 20% for ST, 2% for ST, 2% of ST because they don't have the adequate number of population of ST community, any scheduled tribe. 18% for OBC, 25% for EBC. EBC is extremely backward caste, and 10% for EWS. And trust me, in Bihar there are many communities who are getting this benefits of this OBC and all that, and they don't need that. And that is the irony of this country, that entire thing is based on that, और लोग जाके वोट देते हैं. And you go and see the हालत of Bihar. It's so backward. 80% of the society after independence 75 साल हो गए and still they are backward. They don't have anything. Backward hai, literally backward in comparison to other states. And still they are playing on the political tools like this reservation. Rather than decreasing it and making people empowered, they are increasing the reservation pool so that they can get the vote. Amazing. Let's go further. Understanding the 50% rule. Supreme Court stance limits reservation to 50% of the total seats, post and reservation are exceptions under the constitutional scheme capped at 50%. I think Indira Sawhney judgment है. Indira Sawhney judgment में they have uh, put this cap. Not very certain, but have a look. Mandal Commission. It came in 1990. It affirms the 50% limit but permits exception for communities marginalized from the social mainstream. EWS quota addition. Supreme Court uphold 10% EWS reservation under the 103rd constitutional amendment extending the limit to 60%. I believe कि EWS का जो पूल है उसको बढ़ा देना चाहिए और जो बाकियों का पूल है और एक बार और से रिवाइज करना चाहिए that actually there are certain communities which are in deepest of needs and there are certain communities which needs to come out of it because reservation एक is an affirmative tool which जो उसका purpose है उसको वहीं तक रहने देना चाहिए not using it as a political tool. Okay, it should be increased, yes. Bihar's legislative context. तो कंडक्टेड इन बिहार 2023 और उनके बेसिस पे दे हैव इंक्रीज दिस एंटायर जस्टिफाइड कि भाई क्यों बढ़ना चाहिए. चैलेंजेस क्या है. बिहार मूव linked to caste sense results. However, courts emphasize adequate representation over proportionate representation. Previous attempts by states like Maharashtra and Rajasthan breaching the 50% limits have been overturned by court. Recently शायद झारखंड ने भी ऐसा किया था. I think they increased their poll to 75% and the High Court of Jharkhand they nullified this and however वो करेंगे. यहाँ पे भी बस इलेक्शन का है. कोर्ट इज नॉट गोइंग टू टॉलरेट दिस ऑल. फ्यूचर प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स क्या है भाई. बिहार लॉज लाइकली टू फेस सुप्रीम कोर्ट स्क्रूटनी पॉसिबली चैलेंज द 50% रिजर्वेशन सीलिंग. ओके. Possibility of the court revisiting the मतलब remain uncertain amid the precedent of breaching states. They can give a number of reasons but ultimately तो Supreme Court will be taking the call and in my opinion the call should be in favor of people and favor not in favor of reservation but in people जो लोग हैं वहाँ के and they need empowerment and reservation gives you but it's like a freebie. Empower them educationally, empower them nutritionally. खाना मिलता नहीं है और चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, so third topic is Supreme Court scrutiny on emergency declaration. The Supreme Court highlights the need for a reasonable nexus between the President's actions post-state emergency declaration under Article 356. Petitioner question if the emergency in J&K aimed at altering its special status and bifurcating the state. तो पहले एक बार टाइमलाइन देख लेते हैं. हालांकि इन दोनों पहला और इसको मर्ज कर सकते थे. आई केप्ट इट सेपरेटली सो दैट यू कैन हैव अ डिफरेंट विजुअल, हैव अ डिफरेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. सो व्हाट इज द टाइमलाइन. तो initiated with Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti resignation in June 2018 leading to subsequent proclamation by the governor and the president invocation of article 356 in December 2018. मतलब 2018 में उस समय महबूबा मुफ्ती जी सीएम थी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की. शी रिजाइंड एंड पोस्ट दैट द इमरजेंसी वाज अप्लाइड अंडर आर्टिकल 356 through president in 2019 August 5th of August historical day. 5th August 2019 applied Indian Constitution to JNK, paving the way for altering 370 and reorganizing the state. Okay, तो जुडिशियल रिव्यू एंड प्राइमा फेसी केस क्या है भाई? तो एक्शन ड्यूरिंग द स्टेट इमरजेंसी सब्जेक्ट टू जुडिशियल स्क्रूटिनी. Petitioner must initially demonstrate evidence of malafide or extraneous use of power by the president. Definitely. Burden of proof. The burden rests on the challenger to establish prima facie evidence of misuse of power. If established, the onus then shift to center to justify the nexus between actions and the emergency proclamation. However, the judgment clearly stated that there is no malafide intention. Okay, court has said this. No malafide intention of president or center. Okay, as a critical connection, they have established that there was no established malafide intention. ठीक. Okay. Recently COP28 हुआ UAE में, and let's talk about the key points, है ना? Progress in adapting climate change by 2030. All countries must establish detailed plans to adapt to current future climate change impacts with their territories by 2025. Countries are expected to demonstrate tangible progress in implementing these adaptation plans by 2030. Mitigation and adaptation strategies aim to address rising temperature and climate related disaster. COP28 agreement finalized in Dubai. The focus on mitigation, reducing emission and adaptation and adjusting to climate impacts. Adaptation actions are country specific and includes building flood defense, setting up early warning system and switching to drought resistant crops. The climate change impact, mostly it will initially will be faced by this country which are island nations, because we are through what is happening in climate change कि टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है, जिसके कारण क्या है कि जो भी माउंटेन्स है उनके आर्कटिक और अंटार्कटिक में, आर्कटिक बेसिकली वहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, पिघल रहा है वो बर्फ जो बना हुआ था, उसके कारण क्या हो रहा है, सी लेवल का इंक्रीज हो रहा है. हाँ, बहुत धीरे धीरे सेंटीमीटर्स में इट इज़ इंक्रीजिंग. तो ग्रेजुअली क्या होगा कि जो भी आइलैंड नेशन है दे विल बी सबमर्ज्ड अंडर वाटर, एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट थ्रेट एज ऑफ नाउ. आई थिंक 1 or 2 island near to Fiji or somewhere in the Pacific, they have already submerged, and it is a concerning issue. So this COP actually talks about this particular कि भाई किस तरीके से लकारता मतलब इंडिविजुअल बेसिस में कि आपको इस तरीके से अपना फ्लड डिफेंस बनाओ, अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम बनाओ, ड्रॉट रेजिस्टेंट क्रॉप बनाओ. सो अमंग देम key takeaways. Okay, countries must prepare detailed climate adaptation plans by 2025 and show progress in 2030. A reality global stockade is periodical uh, review is called global stockade. Okay, stockade का मतलब ये होता है progress towards Paris agreement and goals and informing future action. Securing financial support for developing countries in their climate efforts. Recently बहुत सारा फंड भी हुआ है पास from the developed nation. हालांकि उनको और करना चाहिए. They are the ones major culprits. We are now developing. We are मतलब growing now. उन्होंने 300 साल से यही किया है यार. Prioritizing the needs of small island states and least developing countries. Business and financial institutions play a key role in the transition to a low carbon economy. See, when we talk about this, बहुत बड़ा topic है, and it requires a detailed investigation. And I would suggest कि कुछ कुछ चीज़ को आप याद रखना. I think L&D कुछ करके एक फंड आया है, ठीक है, उसको देख लेना. COP22 में, COP28 में, COP27 एंड COP29 का डिटेल देख लेना, ठीक है. because UPSC is in the habit of asking such kind of questions. उसके बाद मेजर आउटकम्स इनके क्या हैं, मेजर आउटकम्स फैक्चुअल फॉर पीटी बेसिकली, मेजर आउटकम्स। फिर उसके बाद COP 28 में इफ़ एनीथिंग इम्पोर्टेंट जो इंडिया के पर्सपेक्टिव से हो, इंडिया ने कुछ किया हो, तो हैव अ, मतलब वो दिमाग में रखना बिफोर कंप्लीटिंग अ टॉपिक। ओके, सो देर इज़ अ राइज इन ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग विक्टिम्स थ्रू साइबर क्राइम्स। तो पहले पढ़ लेते हैं क्या है न्यूज़ भाई। तो रिसेंटली द फर्स्ट इंटरपोल ऑपरेशन अगेंस्ट फ्रॉड स्कीम्स फ्यूल्ड बाय विक्टिम्स ऑफ ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग टुक प्लेस। तो ये आप इमेज है, हैव अ लुक, क्या देता है भाई, लेट मी सी। Categories of sexual exploitation for prostitution, they have increased. All human trafficking cases increased. MHA tops in the most. This is Delhi. This is Delhi, and category is sexual for prostitution. So this is just the basic कि किस तरीके से क्या मतलब ट्रेंड क्या है। सो व्हाट इज दिस एंटायर थिंग, वन सेकेंड। ओके, तो क्या हुआ है, तो Interpol is an international organization. They have Operation Storm Makers 1 uncovered a surge in human trafficking victims being coerced into cyber crimes extending beyond Southeast Asia. The operation led to 281 arrests across basically क्या हुआ involving cryptocurrency, work from home scams and online gambling. तो इन्होंने लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट ने क्या एक्शन लिया। सो बेसिकली इंडियन enforcement agency actively participated, resulted in the rescue of 149 human trafficking victims and the initiation of over 360 investigations. आई थिंक रिसेंटली एनसीआरबी ने भी एक डेटा निकाला था। एनसीआरबी इज नेशनल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड ब्यूरो। इन्होंने भी एक डेटा निकाला था और उन्होंने बोला कि इंक्रीज इन ट्रैफिकिंग। एग्जैक्ट डेटा मुझे याद नहीं है, बट देर वॉज टॉक रिगार्डिंग दिस। ओके, आई हैव अ लुक देयर ऑल्सो। Telangana police highlighted one of the in India's initial cases, revealing an individual forced into cyber fraud after being lured about. Global impacting challenges. A UN report underscored the severity of abuses faced by victims involved in scams, including torture, sexual violence, and forced labor. Estimates suggest thousands held in Myanmar, Cambodia, and other countries. These are Southeast Asian countries. ठीक है, मैप देख लेना एक बार। Countries for online scams generating billions in revenues. Okay, so what is the initiatives they which is there? तो क्रिमिनल लॉ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट इन इंडिया, उसके बाद जो स्ट्रेंथन करता है लीगल फ्रेमवर्क का ट्रैफिकिंग के रिस्पेक्ट में। NHRC एंटी ट्रैफिकिंग सेल, NHRC इज नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन। फिर देर इज एन एक्शन प्लान to prevent, suppress, prosecute trafficking and assist victims. US Trafficking in Persons Report and Polaris Project. This project is operates National Human Trafficking Hotline, providing support and assistance to victims. Okay, there is one thing which I want to talk to you about is regarding the personal mentorship. If you are facing any challenges, okay, in UPSC preparation, okay, if you are facing any challenges in UPSC preparation, sorry, operation, I wrote preparation, call this number, call this number, ठीक है। Here you will find Chandrasekhar sir, he is an amazing teacher, ठीक है, Chandrasekhar sir। और इनसे आप बात करो रिगार्डिंग योर प्रिपरेशन फेजेस, कि कहाँ दिक्कत आ रही है, बीट मेंस पीटी, बीट पीटी मेंस इंटरव्यू, ही विल बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू, और आपको ये गाइड कर सकते हैं. इट्स लाइक अ पर्सनल मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम. इट्स एक्चुअली अ पर्सनल मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम, जिसमें आपको ईयर राउंड आपको मेंटर मिलेंगे. मतलब यू विल हैव अ क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट कि किस तरीके से आगे यूपीएससी के जर्नी में प्रोसीड करना है एंड ऑल दैट. आई हैव अ वर्ड देयर. ओके. Vice President calls for debate on freebies. तो क्या है भाई फ्रीबी? तो फ्रीबी जब इलेक्शन के पहले सरकार, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं ना, लाइक वेदर द पीपल हु आर देयर इन द पावर और नॉट इन द रैली, दे से कि आप हमें वोट दो, हम लैपटॉप बंटवा देंगे, आप हमें वोट दो, हम इतना माफ़ कर देंगे, कर्जा माफ़ कर देंगे. दीज आर कॉल्ड freebies. So in order to talk, have a word on that, Jagdeep Dhankar ji, who is the Vice President of India, they called for a national debate. Okay. तो डिपेंडेंसी वर्सेस एम्पावरमेंट. तो एक्सेसिव फ्रीबीज एडवोकेटिंग फॉर एम्पावरमेंट ओवर डिपेंडेंसी, दिस इज द बेसिक एजेंडा फॉर डिबेट. ओके. गंदा हेड राइटिंग क्यों हो रहा है? हाँ. Urges a shift from fiscal patronage towards enhancing human minds, cautioning against a culture of reliance on free provisions. It's also a cheap political tool used by many politicians कि भाई हम ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे, and at the end of the day if you look after 5 years there is nothing. बहुत कंप्लेन नहीं है मेरा सिस्टम से, बस दीज आर समथिंग विच टचेज योर सोल. एंड यू शुड बी अवेयर बीइंग, अगर आप एक अच्छे सिटीजन हैं, एज अ फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी ऑफ योर्स टू बी अवेयर ऑफ योर राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज़. हर चीज़ का आपके दिमाग में एक संदर्भ होना चाहिए चीज़ों को लेकर. ओके. Strengthening human rights amidst fiscal priorities. On the impact of freebies on economic stability, quality of life, and societal cohesion. Criticize the distortion of expenditure priorities and highlights the paradox between free provision and long term economic health. In his address, Thankar underscored the importance of empowering human minds, holding those in governance accountable, and countering narratives that hinder progress and transparency. I think recently Supreme Court and Election Commission both have said that there should be a law in respect to this कि भाई कुछ भी आप प्रॉमिस नहीं कर सकते हैं. यू कैन नॉट से एवरीथिंग इज fair and rosy and I can deliver you this without stating the fact that this will put so much of pressure on the state fiscals, exchequer, कि भाई अगर हम आपको 1,000 करोड़ देते हैं उनमें से तो ये उसका रिपरकर्शन होगा. सो यू हैव टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड दिस टू वाइल delivering your promises. I know these are ideal talk, nothing is nothing is going to happen on that, but again we should be aiming for something idealism. तो ताकि थोड़ा सा नीचे, मतलब थोड़ा अगर वो नीचे भी गिरे तो थोड़ा बेटर रहे in comparison to other. Okay. FAO is food and तो FAO रिपोर्ट ऑन फूड सिक्योरिटी एंड न्यूट्रिशन. FAO क्या है भाई? तो इट्स फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. इट्स अ स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसी ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशन फॉर इंटरनेशनल एफर्ट्स टू डिफीट हंगर. क्या पर्पस है भाई? डिफीट हंगर. इफ़ यू रीड सोसाइटी, हमारे कंट्री का मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है? हंगर, पॉवर्टी एंड ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग. एक दो पॉइंट है इसके रिस्पेक्ट में. वर्ल्ड फूड डे कब मनाते हैं हम लोग? 16 अक्टूबर. ओके. और इनका इस्टेब्लिशमेंट हुआ है 1945 में. उसके बाद वी कैन टॉक फर्दर कि अब इनका और क्या यूपीएससी में रह सकता है. तो एक हेड क्वार्टर पूछते हैं कि हाँ, मतलब कभी कभी आ सकता है. तो हेड क्वार्टर इज इन Rome. Rome is in Italy. Melanie. Modi Melanie. Okay. So what is the news? So the recently FAO report on food security and nutrition highlights the state of food security in India and its comparison to other nations. So what is the key highlight of the report? तो इंडिया का जो अफोर्डेबिलिटी है वो डिक्लाइन कर रहा है. ओवर 75% ऑफ इंडियंस couldn't afford a healthy diet in 2021, a slight improvement from 76.2% in 2020. This can be also the reason because 2020 में कोविड आया था, 21 में we were just getting out of the COVID kind of thing. Maybe it can be a reason. Rising food cost without concurrent income increase contribute to affordability challenges. दूसरा क्या है? Regional disparities. Regional overview of food security highlights challenges in Asia Pacific region. In Pakistan, 82.2% face difficulties according healthy food, while in Bangladesh figure was 66. पाकिस्तान का मे भी ये रीज़न हो सकता है. Recently they had faced flood. उसके बाद इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस. तो बहुत सारे रीज़न है ना, नॉट ओनली दिस. ओके, थर्ड इज इम्पैक्ट ऑफ 5 F's क्राइसिस: फूड, फीड, फ्यूल, फर्टिलाइजर एंड फाइनेंस. Asia Pacific region still grapples with protracted effects, representing half of the global undernourished population. State of nutrition in India: undernourishment in India. India has 16.6% of its population grappling with undernourishment. This poses economic, social, and health challenges for the country. न्यूट्रिशन का क्या रोल होता है? इट गिव्स यू ऑफ एनर्जी. आपको ऑल राउंड प्रोटेक्शन, मतलब जो भी विटामिन्स और कैल्शियम या जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है बॉडी में, they provide you. Through that you are able to put physical efforts or mental efforts, and you grow mentally and physically. So nutrition provides a pivotal role uh, in a person's life. ठीक है. और initially you see these cases of stunting and malnourishment. These are all cases because there is not proper nourishment, and you need this nutritious फूड इन ऑर्डर टू ओवरकम दैट. और इंडिया में वो बहुत लैकिंग है. इवन हमारा जो गवर्नमेंट का फंडेड प्लान्स है फॉर मील्स एंड ऑल दैट, दे आर नॉट एडिक्वेटली गिविंग द प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिशन. So we need to have, because those are going to the children and they are the future. So we need to be very certain of that. The second is child health challenges. Stunted growth is prevalent in 31.7% of children under the age of 5, and wasting affects 18.7% of children. This is the case in India. Of course, let's go further. What is stunting and wasting? So it's a condition of impaired growth, stunting, and development in children, typically caused by chronic matlab lagatar malnutrition resulting in low height for age. Wasting refers to a rapid weight loss or severe malnutrition in children characterized by low weight for the height. It indicates acute undernutrition. Anemia in women. Anemia is a significant health concern impacting 53% of women aged 15 to 49. Adult obesity. In contrast, 1.6% of adults in India are classified as obese, मतलब मोटा होता है. The FAO report underscores ongoing issues in achieving nutritional targets and the imperative for targeted intervention to address food security challenges in the region. Let's talk further. ये जो मछली दिख रही है, गोल्ड फिश, it's called invasion threats in open water. The seemingly innocuous goldfish, popular as a pet in fish bowls, becomes a colossal threat when introduced into open water bodies. Invasive species is something like that. Goldfish, native to East Asia, often kept as aesthetic pets, grow into a giant menace when released into lakes and rivers. Originally bred for aesthetic pleasure and good fortune, they transform into invasive species in the wild. Environmental impact. Invasive goldfish pose a significant environment threat, particularly in areas like Hamilton Harbor on Lake Ontario, decimated by industrial. Fast growth, quick reproduction, and adaptability make them destructive to native marine life and ecosystem. इन्वेजिव स्पीसीज क्या होते हैं ना कि वो आते हैं और जो वहाँ के जो डोमेस्टिक जो वहाँ के ओरिजिनल इकोसिस्टम या जो उसमें स्पीसीज मिलते हैं उनको डिस्ट्रॉय कर देते हैं, दैट दे आर एबल टू रिप्रोड्यूस मोर, so they will be eating the all the food sources, so there will be scarcity और उस तरीके से decline हो जाएगा जो वहाँ के native species हैं. So this is how invasive species functions. There are many invasive species and recent report indicates the goldfish. हम लोग घर में तो रखते ही हैं bowl में. Destructive behavior. Goldfish ability to consume anything including algae, aquatic plants, eggs and invertebrates leads to harmful algal blooms. And this is a good concept. Do read it. Algal bloom कि कैसे लेक के ऊपर एक लेयर जम जाता है एंड सन इज नॉट एबल टू पेनिट्रेट लोअर रीजन ऑफ द this ocean and how this is affecting and all that. Read it. Their football shaped bodies can grow up to 16 inches, making them immune to predation and disrupting the balance of ecosystem. Research findings. Research by Fisheries and Oceans Canada in Hamilton Harbour helps identify gold. Early detection of their location before spawning enables more effective culling strategy. Can produce multiple times in one season, exacerbating their population growth. Adaptability to a variety of water temperatures and conditions combined with climate change contributes to their proliferation. Okay. The impact is invasion extends beyond Canada with instances reported in Australia, UK and the US, emphasizing its global impact. If you see now, if this is Canada, this is Europe, we have Asia, we have Australia. It is all globe में अगर ऐसे देखो तो this is Pacific, right? ये Pacific. Sorry for the diagram, but this is Pacific. So of course this reason यहाँ पे ऑस्ट्रेलिया आ जाएगा ना, दिस रीजन विल बी ऑस्ट्रेलिया. अगर यहाँ पे कुछ हो रहा तो यहाँ भी होगा. एंड प्रॉबेबली इट्स आल्सो हैपनिंग इन दिस अटलांटिक ओशन, हेंस इट्स अफेक्टिंग यूके. तो ये आपको मैप थोड़ा सा आपको क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए अबाउट द रीजन्स, और स्पेसिफिक्स भी होना चाहिए कि कौन सा लेक है, सी है. हैव अ क्लैरिटी, बेटर आइडिया, practice it. So unwanted pet release in urban ponds contribute to the escalating problem. So this was an issue, and before going before ending this lecture I would like to suggest that if you have any problem, contact Chandrasekhar sir. He is someone who can help you out here, and it's a great mentorship program, personal mentorship, and it will help you like anything. आपके यूपीएससी जर्नी को it will strengthen, it will give you a boost, and do contact him, have a word regarding anything in respect to UPSC CSE preparation. So I'm done for the day, and thank you so much. So see you when I see you. Bye bye.